Good morning and welcome to the Mayor's Weekly News Conference. Today's focus is the unveiling of the city's plan for activating our vision. We have spent more than a year meeting with various departments to set goals and develop and hone a plan for how we will hold ourselves accountable, measure success, and ultimately achieve the mayor's and this city's vision. Erie's vision calls for a brighter future for all members of our community. This vision represents the goals established in Erie Refocused, which is the city's comprehensive plan. It is bolstered by Mayor Schember's mission to build opportunity, restore hope, and transform Erie. To set a course toward making our vision a reality, we have focused on strategies and performance measures that will create a greater Erie. This document sets forth an open, honest, and transparent path for how we will hold ourselves accountable. Erie's two-year Activating Our Vision action plan sets specific goals, identifies metrics called Key Performance Indicators or KPIs for each of the 5 points in the vision, tracks and reports the KPIs regularly, outlines sources of measurement, and explains programs and strategies that the city will implement to ensure that we are making an impact and meeting this community's needs. For the first three elements of the vision, where we have worked with department heads and key staff to draft this plan, our goal is to achieve most metrics by December 2021. In certain cases, where the city has partnered with Erie's Public Schools and the Erie Regional Chamber and Growth Partnership, both who are here today to speak on behalf of the plan, our goals mirror their timeline for completion of their strategic plans by December 2024. Now, I would love to turn it over to Mayor Schember to explain the KPIs and the vision.
Thank you very much, Kathy. And I feel really lucky to have a planner like you to take the lead on what we are presenting today. I appreciate all you've done to find the 26 ways we're going to measure our process on achieving our vision. I also want to thank our Chief of Staff, Renee Lamus, who's over there, for her leadership role in making this happen as well. We've also had dozens of others, including many city employees and other area residents contributing to what we are presenting to you today. I'm very pleased that this is not my vision for Erie. This is our vision for Erie. This plan will evolve over time. I welcome continuing input from any Erie region residents on how we can make it even better. Everything that my team and I does is focused on achieving our vision. Erie is a community of choice. We celebrate our rich cultural diversity, our welcoming, vibrant neighborhoods, our world-class downtown and Bayfront, our excellent education for everyone, and our abundance of family-sustaining jobs. To measure our progress on activating the vision, we've identified 26 key performance indicators. We will track these key performance indicators to measure our success in activating the 5-point vision for Erie over the next 2 years. We have worked developing these key performance indicators over the last year and a half. It wasn't easy. For instance, we had something we wanted to measure, but we didn't know how to get the number, so we couldn't use that one. It was a lot of work. I'll confess, I've also put some stress on my staff as we've worked through this. I've pushed to make these 26 key performance indicators stretch goals. Many times they'd present a goal and I'd say, why don't we make it a little bit more? If we're going to transform Erie, though, I think we have to push ourselves. So for the balance of today's press conference, I'll present the key performance indicators one at a time, and then someone will come up and make some additional comments about some of the detail behind it. So let's get started. The first element of our vision is celebrating our rich cultural diversity. If I accomplish nothing else as mayor, I want to eliminate racism and prejudice from Erie. I want every individual in Erie welcomed and valued for the unique talents and skills that each one of us possess. Our diversity, I believe, makes us stronger as a community. If everyone feels valued, regardless of race, religion, gender, sexual preference, or color of skin, if everyone feels valued, there's no limit, I believe, to what we can accomplish. Here are the 6 key performance indicators that we will use to measure our success in making every Erie resident feel valued. First, we'll attain 26% minority workforce for all new non-bargaining hires. Second, we'll increase the number of minority candidates taking the Erie Police Department and Erie Fire Department exam, but to 15%. That's one we worked on a lot. We really wanted to diversify the workforce, but had a hard, with what we had to deal with the numbers and the process. The best we can come up with for now, at least, is getting more minorities to take the tests. Fourth, attain 26% minority representation for all new appointments, boards, and commissions. Fifth, attain 100% on the Human Rights Campaign Municipal Equality Index. And sixth, achieve a certified welcoming status, which requires a minimum score of 91%. And that one, hopefully we'll have that by around mid-year this year. You'll notice there are 10 programs related to accomplishing these 6 KPIs. And when I say you'll notice in the book, and also on the screen they're showing right now, each segment of the vision is color-coded, and on one side of the page is it shows our key performance indicators, and on the other side it gives you a lot of detail on how we're trying to achieve those key performance indicators. So next, I'd like to invite our community liaison, Michael Outlaw, and he's going to share some detail on how we're working to achieve these key performance indicators. Michael.
Good morning. I'm going to speak about the City of Erie's Diversity and Inclusion Plan, but more particularly the Youth Public Services Program and the Erie's First campaign. In essence, the program and the projects are internal strategies specific to diversifying the police department, fire department, and increasing minority candidates taking both exams, as well as minorities gaining employment in non-bargaining positions. The Erie First campaign project will work closely with the Erie Public Schools to identify minority students for seasonal summer employment, the community center directors, as well as other community partners to assist reaching the mayor's KPIs. Beginning in March, the HR department, Erie Police Department, and Fire Department will begin our outreach and recruitment efforts for careers in public services and non-bargaining hirings at the following locations: MCRC, the Urban Erie Community Development Corporation, the Booker T. Washington Center, JFK, and the MLK. There's going to be local church visitations for these recruitment efforts, and we can also strategically recruit minority veterans. In conclusion, the Youth Public Services Program and the Erie First campaign can only be achieved when we work in tandem with our community partners. In order for us to celebrate our rich cultural diversity, we have to work together because we are better together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate all you're doing to make everyone in Erie feel valued and welcome here. I believe that working together, we will achieve this vision for every resident of Erie. When everyone feels empowered and valued, just imagine what great things we'll be able to do together. Second, my team and I want every resident in the 17 neighborhoods in Erie to feel they live in a place that is welcoming and vibrant. As a team, we've identified 7 key performance indicators to track our progress in moving towards this over the next 2 years. First, Erie's population will be at least 100,000 in the 2020 census. In the 2010 census, there were literally thousands of Erie residents who were not counted. Every uncounted resident costs the city $2,100 annually in federal aid for the next 10 years. So we need to count everyone. We need to count children, including newborns, elderly, immigrants, refugees. If 1,000 residents are not counted this year in the census, we'll lose $2.1 million in federal aid per year, every year, for the next 10 years. Our second key performance indicator is that the city Erie City home values will increase by 10% when compared to Erie County home values. Currently, city homes have only 73% of the value of comparable county homes. We want that to increase to 83% in the next 2 years. Third, we'll have 20 new single-family homes built in Erie in the next 2 years. Fourth, we'll open code violations per property will decrease by 10% per year. Fifth, and this is one we don't have an exact number on, but we will soon, the number of unsound registered rental properties will decrease by a certain percentage, which we have yet to set, that we will, and once we have the finished property conditions of the assessment, we'll be able to set that. Hopefully that will be within the next month or so. Sixth, there are $50 million in new investments in Erie. And I got a feeling that's one we might need to increase a little bit. It seemed large when we set it, but now with LRTA, it doesn't seem that large anymore. Number 7, Part 1 police officer offenses decrease by 4%. Those offenses include major crimes, basically, things like theft and personal injury. My dream, and this isn't a KPI yet, but my dream is that we can soon have a year where no one is murdered in Erie. Now, I'd like to invite our city planner, Kathy Rosnick, back to the podium. She's going to explain a little bit how we're going to work on achieving these goals. Kathy.
Hello again. Thank you, Mayor, for that introduction. This is an area that I've spent a great deal of my time since coming to the city working on the projects and strategies that you have before you, and many, many more. What we want is when people and families are looking for a place to call home, we want the answer to be Erie. We want to be a community that meets the needs of families seeking great places for their children to run, play, and thrive. A community where young people starting out on their own and those whose children have already left their nest see as the best place to live. This is our wish, no matter how much money you make, your status in society, where you choose to worship or not, or who you choose to love. We will achieve this by partnering with the people who live here, businesses who serve this community, educational institutions, and a variety of other community champions. These partnerships are the driving force in developing neighborhood strategic plans that create the roadmap for our city to become welcoming and vibrant. We have already seen early success in our approach to creating these strategies. The East Bayfront Neighborhood Plan will be advancing for City Council review next week. This plan envisions a renewed neighborhood for the residents that live in the Lower East Side by providing a healthy and safe park system while removing buildings that have been abandoned and left to plague this proud community. One that will help them achieve the life that they desire for their families and themselves. The Academy Marvintown Plan, which will be completed in March, will show that through working with Erie's public schools, the Academy Marvintown neighborhood groups can create a place where everyone has a chance to live, learn, and grow. More plans are to come over the next few years, and as these advance to real action, transformational change will happen. But planning is not about creating a glossy report. It's focused on getting things done. And that usually means looking at local legislation that support community goals. So as part of this work, we will be undertaking a holistic review of all housing policies that will ensure that homes are safe and affordable, that abandoned properties are not allowed to become nuisances, and that our most vulnerable populations are protected. Many of you will be asked to participate in that work, and I have to say I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kathy, and thanks again for all the work you've done to actually create this process. I really appreciate it. This is the first time, really, that we've had this much information available to help us make data-driven decisions. We have set some difficult goals. I hope organizations like our neighborhood groups will join us in transforming Erie. It may take years to transform Erie, but why not start today? The next element of our vision is celebrating our world-class downtown and Bayfront. Many things have already begun to happen on the Bayfront and in the downtown area over the last 2 years. However, there's still much more to do. Our key performance indicators in this category, there's 4 of them, and they will all hopefully be accomplished by 2021, by the end of 2021. The first is at least 100 market-rate residential units are under construction. Second, the iconic connection on the Bayfront is funded and under construction. Third, $5 million in investment is committed to implementation of the downtown streetscape master plan. And fourth, at least 40,000 square feet of new Class A office space is under development. To explain our plans for the downtown streetscape master plan here a little more is our city engineer, John Tushak. John.
Good morning. We have several large-scale projects underway right now, but one of which is the development of the Bayfront Central Corridor. The implementation of Phase 1 at State Street and the Bayfront is moving forward. So far, about $36 million are committed to that project. Phase 1 will include the grade separation of State Street and the Bayfront Parkway. For those of you who don't know what a grade separation is, the Bayfront Parkway is actually going to go under State Street, where the current railroad tunnel is. That way, the traffic gets divided, where 80% of the cars that go through that intersection pass right on through. They don't get on or off at State Street, so that will really calm that intersection down for the north-south traffic to the waterfront. Phase 1 also includes full access ramps and railroad relocation. Intersection improvements at Holland and Sassafras Street and pedestrian access bridges will follow as additional funding becomes available. The city is working collaboratively with PennDOT and a very large stakeholder group of any and all interested parties. We are currently working on refining the alternatives analysis and on aesthetics, landscaping, and art elements to create the desired iconic connection from the waterfront to the downtown. We will be combining elements from the various master planning efforts of recent years. When concepts have been developed, there will continue to be public meetings for additional input. This will be a very busy year as we focus on environmental analysis, preliminary engineering and final design, right-of-way analysis and acquisition, access improvements at Soldiers and Sailors Home, and agreements with CSX Railroad. Secondly, we are aggressively working on implementation of a downtown streetscape master plan. The plan could include aesthetic improvements, much-needed curb and sidewalk replacement, decorative lighting, bike lanes, road diet and lane reconfigurations, street trees, green spaces, drainage and stormwater management improvements. The city has been pursuing a number of state and federal grants, some of which have been awarded, some of which are still being negotiated. It has been very difficult to identify the necessary qualifying matching funds to maximize the grant funds received, but we will continue to work on creative solutions to optimize funds to be received. So far, the city will receive about $1.6 million in grant funds for the project, but that could more than double if qualifying matching funds can be identified. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. I really feel lucky that we have experienced, dedicated people like John working here for the people of Erie. We're committed to ensuring that the downtown and Bayfront are safe, welcoming, world-class places where people can live, work, and play. I'm excited and look forward to the upcoming transformational projects that will be unfolding in the coming months. The fourth key to transforming Erie is to have excellent education for everyone. The students in Erie School District are the future of Erie. That is why we're committed to helping the Erie School District in any way we can. The first 4 of the 5 key performance indicators in this category are identical with the Erie School District's goals with their completion date of 2024. Here are our 5 key performance indicators for this area. First, 90% of students are achieving a 95% attendance rate. Second, 100% of the students participate in their community. Third, there is a 50% reduction in the behavioral incidents involving African American students. I really like this one because I think in past years, African American students have been disciplined at about twice the rate of white students. That's a great goal. Fourth, 100% of students will graduate from high school. And fifth, there was one thing missing that Erie is missing. One of the main things, the only thing I think we're missing in education actually is the community college. That is why our 5th performance indicator is that Erie County has a brick and mortar community college in the city. I really want to thank and I appreciate the work that Kathy Dahlkemper and Gary Lee, who are here with us today, have done to bring the community college to Erie. Thanks to the 2 of you and to County Council as well. Thank you, Andre. To elaborate on educational priorities a little bit more, I'd like to invite Erie Public Schools Superintendent Brian Toledo to the podium. Brian.
Thank you, Mayor Schember. We greatly appreciate the support we've received from the city under your administration. It's unprecedented. One example of that support is the Safe Routes to School program. This partnership between the city, school district, United Way, Gannon, and the Bluecoats, and funded by the United Way and PennDOT, is creating safe walking routes to our schools. The goals established in our strategic plan and included in the mayor's vision statement are ambitious. But now that our financial crisis is behind us, we are laser focused on improving student achievement, and for the first time in over a decade are investing in facilities, student programming, and supports for students that are not on grade level. However, we fully recognize that we cannot accomplish these goals alone. In fact, we believe community support is so important to student success that we titled our strategic plan, Mobilizing Community, Igniting Excellence. Individuals in the community often ask me how they can help. One way is through our community schools model. One of the biggest challenges facing our families is the impact of poverty. Many of our students come to school hungry, lacking proper clothing, and with unaddressed medical, dental, and vision issues. The community schools model, spearheaded by the United Way, is a proven model that has been shown to increase student success by removing many of these external barriers to learning. It positions the schools as a neighborhood hub where students and families can access much needed support services that are available throughout the community. Expanding the community schools model to all of our schools is a key strategy in our plan and exemplifies the kind of collaborative approach needed to transform our community. I would encourage anyone interested in getting involved or sponsoring one of our schools to go to our website or the United Way's website to learn more about the model and its impact on our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. I really enjoyed my involvement with the schools. We're doing these voices sessions. I've been participating in them in your middle and your high schools. And Michael Outlaw, Ken Nixon are the 2 people that kind of put these together. In addition to me, several police officers, African-American leaders, and also some individuals who have reformed from a life of crime participate in those, and they're great conversations with the kids. We just had one, Chief and Mike Nolan were there as well, and it was an incredible conversation yesterday. Those students are the future of Erie. I really believe that, and I look forward to working closely, Brian, with you and your staff to ensure that they have the opportunity for great lives. Finally, our last vision point is that Erie has an abundance of family-sustaining jobs. My team and I are working hard to identify and fill gaps. I am energized by our partners at the Erie Regional Chamber and Growth Partnership. Under the leadership of CEO James Grunke, they are taking the lead in attracting businesses and jobs of the future to Erie. Working with James and his staff, we have identified the following 4 key performance indicators in this area. First, that we have 1,000 more family-sustaining jobs in the city by the end of 2014. This will happen by creating new jobs through Erie Forward and retaining existing jobs. Second, per capita income in the city rises by 5%. Third, the percentage of employees living and working in the city increases by 5%. Right now, 60% of the people that work in the city live outside the city. 4, there'll be at least 25 acres of industrial manufacturing property identified for redevelopment. The last 3 key performance indicators will be measured through December 31st of 2021. To tell us more about the great work he and his team are doing to help businesses thrive and bring more good family-sustaining jobs to Erie, here's CEO of the Erie Regional Chamber and Growth Partnership, James Grunke. James.
Good morning. Again, I'm James Grunke. I'm the CEO of the Erie Regional Chamber. And I first want to commend our mayor and his team for thoughtfully crafting this plan and for their dedication of putting it into action. But more importantly, for making a commitment to hold themselves accountable to these goals. This is the leadership our community needs to support business growth and to partner with the business community in leading Erie's economic evolution. Under the direction and partnership of our business and community leaders, we recently unveiled our 5-year economic and community development strategy called Erie Ford. This strategy sets goals for our team, including the addition of 2,000 new jobs to the region and $250 million of new or expanded capital investment. These goals for economic development cannot be met without the collaboration of our public leaders. Major Schimber has a strong commitment to our shared goals for increasing job growth in the city of Erie and supporting real workforce development solutions in Erie's public schools. The action plan also calls for exploring public financing tools that can help spur private investment while making sustainable investment in public assets. Our elected officials are in a unique position to employ public instruments which can inspire confidence in our market. Since beginning my work here in Erie, Mayor Schimber has always graciously provided me a pathway to be successful here. And the mayor and his entire team have a strong commitment to all corners of this community, and I'm honored to have his partnership in leading Erie's economic future. Thank you.
Thank you, James, and I believe we're very lucky to have you here. The Chamber's role is crucial to bringing economic success back to our entire region. I'm very pleased we have the opportunity to partner with you on projects, programs, and initiatives. Change is not easy. We have a difficult road ahead, but with challenges also come opportunities. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reimagine ourselves and our community and to make our vision reality. So let's roll up our sleeves, let's work together, let's make a difference in the lives of our children and the future of our community. This action plan might feel like a government transforming the community, but government cannot do it alone. Private sector leaders, nonprofit organizations, philanthropic and educational institutions all play a huge role in this transformation. As the city does its part as an active player, we also seek the assistance of community partners to lead the change. So I invite everyone here and listening to help us transform Erie. Here are 7 ways you can help make a difference. First, implement and/or invest in the East Bayfront and other approved neighborhood plans. Second, fund the downtown streetscape master plan. Third, contribute to a fund for the completion of the Bayfront Central Corridor. Fourth, sponsor a community school. Fifth, donate to the Police Athletic League. Sixth, donate to Celebrate Erie. And seventh, donate to the LERTA Community Reinvestment Fund. Build opportunity, restore hope, transform Erie. Erie is a community of choice. We celebrate our rich cultural diversity, our welcoming, vibrant neighborhoods, our world-class downtown, and Bayfront, our excellent education for everyone, and our abundance of family-sustaining jobs. I hope these are more than just words to all of you now. We have a detailed plan to track and measure our progress on implementing the mission and the vision. That concludes today's press conference. Thanks very much to all of you for being here. Everyone who spoke is available for interviews now. Thanks very much.